Welcome to the mind. Cognition. The information we store in our long-term memory constitutes our knowledge base.
Right, I agree. You remember what you know.
Thinking is the use of knowledge to accomplish some sort of goal.
That's like thinking to pass a test.
Correct. Moving on.
Thinking involves the use of all types of knowledge as mental representations. What are those?
Bits of memory that represent objects, events, people, and so on that are not actually present now.
Oh, so if I pictured basketball, I could remember what it felt like, what it sounded like when I bounced it, stuff like that?
You mean a basketball, but exactly.
Great!
But we can't remember everything.
What are you talking about?
Here's an example. You can't remember where everything is, geographically.
Well, maybe not everything, but I'm pretty good at it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, are you insulting me?
Of course not. This is what I mean. Which is farther east, Reno, Nevada, or San Diego, California?
That's easy, San Diego.
Okay, you got lucky. Try this. Which is farther north, Montreal or Seattle?
I don't know, Montreal?
Wrong. Sorry. Now try this one. Which is farther west, the Atlantic or Pacific entrance to the Panama Canal?
I have no idea.
My point exactly. You got those wrong because of the way you have organized your knowledge about the geography.
These are called cognitive maps.
Next are concepts. The mental categories that contain related bits of knowledge are organized around the meaning of what they represent.
Like animals, we know what they represent, right? How they move, how they act, what separates them from humans.
Wow, you're good. Don't get cocky. Organizing concepts into categories. Psychologists have found that we tend to organize our knowledge into 3 levels of categorization. The superordinate level contains concepts that are broad and general in their description.
Oh, something like fruit or vegetables, something broad.
Yeah, the next is the basic level category. It's the one we use most often to think about our world. Example, if you were going shopping for school supplies, you would write down a list consisting of what to buy.
Like pens, pencils, notebooks, paper?
The last is the subordinate category. They are less general than superordinate, but more specific than basic.
I think I know what you mean. Like putting down ballpoint pens or college ruled paper, rather than just pens and paper. Being specific, right?
Yeah, now we can move on. Formal concepts. They help us to define certain categories of things.
Alright, let me give you an example. Like, to say cheerleading is a sport, it must involve things that define it as athletic. It must have some concepts of athleticism. Like, you must do something active, you must do something that makes you sweat, tired, you win. Isn't that what a sport is? That fits right in, right?
Yep, and then there are natural concepts. We don't learn formal rules for these concepts.
Oh yeah, I think I got this one too. It's like you could use it in terms of prejudice. As if someone says one race of people are dumb, you're going to judge if they're dumb or not off of an experience you've had with those people, right?
You're really on the ball today. Really. This ties right into prototypes.
Come again?
They're basically what you think of typically when referred to a type of something.
Oh, like how I think of a big shiny red apple when someone mentions apples. Am I right?
Honestly, you should be teaching me. Well-structured problems. Well-structured problems are for which there is a clear pathway to a solution.
Okay, since I should be teaching you, let me elaborate. That's like if my mom asked me to bake the turkey for Thanksgiving. Even though I've never done it, I'm sure I could figure out how to do it. And that's why it's well structured. I can figure it out, clearly.
Since you're so good now, we'll skip right to algorithm and heuristic. The algorithm is a method of solving a particular problem that always leads to the right solution. The heuristic is a shortcut that may not lead to the correct solution.
I think I know what you mean.
Like if I were baking a cake, the algorithm method would be to find out exactly what the ingredients are and how much of them that I need. But the heuristic method would be to make up how many eggs I need or go off of what someone else told me. The problem is that if I make the cake the heuristic way, it might turn out bad, but it will always turn out perfect if I use the algorithm method. And I really like so.
Good, because I don't like gross cakes either. Yuck. Another kind of problem is ill structure, the kind with no algorithm.
Oh, like trying to get the KKK to stop hating everybody?
Yeah, the only choice is to use a heuristic. It may be harder to solve, but it isn't impossible.
No, I think in this case it's impossible.
Yeah, you're probably right. Next, we have functional fixedness. It can prevent us from solving problems that otherwise could be solved. Like if you were in the middle of a math test and forgot your calculator, you'd figure out how to solve the problems using creativity.
Wait, couldn't a mental set get in the way of stuff like that too?
Yes, because it is a tendency to habitually use methods of problem solving that have worked in the past.
And if it doesn't work, you should incubate, right?
Yes, sir. Incubation is a period of not thinking about the problem. It sometimes helps us to solve it. Just as important are judgments. They can be seen as a type of problem solving in which we estimate the probability.
Right, and you can use probability to judge a situation. Like the probability of a parent trusting Michael Jackson around their children is probably 0. So judging from that, Michael Jackson could probably never open a daycare. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. If you're around my kids, I'd tell them to beat it. No? Okay, judging from the time we have left, I think we're done. Thanks for learning.
And thank you for teaching. How much do I owe you? Just make sure I get an A. This took a long time to make.